Hello guys, in this video we will talk about one of the best marketing strategies of Nike. Today we are going to talk about one of the greatest sports brands in the world. The story that I am about to tell you today is the story of a brand that is not just an inspiration for people like you and me but also for a legend like Steve Jobs. So the story dates back to the year 2012 when Summer Olympic was being held in London, and because the Summer Olympic was being held, all sports brands were very eager to become the title sponsor of the Olympic, because that knew that if they could become the title sponsor of the Olympic they could pump in a lot of profit. So the auction was held and the title sponsorship went to Adidas, and Nike lost its chance to become the title sponsor to its arch-rival, and Adidas paid $150 million just to be the title sponsor of the Olympic. And every time we hear a figure like this, the first question that comes to our mind is, what exactly is so special about the title sponsorship that you would pay $150 million just to be associated with the name of Olympic? And the answer to that lies in a very simple example that is very closer to our home, that is Vivo's title sponsorship to IPL. Now people, when I understood that Vivo is going to pay 2,200 crore just to get its name as Vivo IPL, I got completely shocked, and that is when I looked at the growth of Vivo 2018 and 2019. And as it turns out, in 2018 Q1, that is just before the IPL started, Vivo was shipping about 2.1 million units, alright, but 1 year later, after the IPL happened in the exact same quarter in 2019, Vivo was shipping in 4.5 million units. That's a staggering growth of more than 100% in the world's second largest mobile market. And this is the reason why Olympic was like a golden gateway for Adidas to get way ahead of Nike, and specifically committee to try to make sure that they make such stringent rules that not other brand, let alone Nike, will be able to steal their thunder by actually associating their name with Olympic. So with all of this put together, everybody thought that Adidas is now going to viral. It's going to remain at the top of the chart because now it is the title sponsor of the Olympics. But you know what, people, there was a slight twist in between, and when the actual results came out, as it turns out, while Adidas had about 9,000 tweets associating Adidas with the Olympic, there were about 16,000 tweets which associated Nike with the Olympics. And the cherry of the cake is there was a survey which was conducted in the US wherein people were asked, who do you exactly think is the title sponsor of the Olympic? 21% of those people thought that Adidas is the title sponsor of the Olympics. By 37% of the people identify Nike to be the title sponsor of the Olympics, which means what, millions and millions of people were thinking that Nike was the title sponsor of the Olympics. Now the question is, without being the title sponsor of the Olympics, without spending $150 million, how is it even practically possible for a brand to acquire more publicity than the real title sponsor? And that's where the legendary strategy of Nike come into play. So the first thing that they understood was, regardless of how complex the system is, there will always be a loophole. And they found 3 loopholes. The first loophole they found was, regardless of whoever is the title sponsorship of the Olympics, the athletes were free to choose whichever shoes they wanted, and that is the reason why Nike hired 400 Olympians to be its brand ambassador and just asked them to wear the Nike shoes that they were given. And Nike came out with a quirky lineup of shoes which was named as Volt, wherein they distributed yellow-green color shoes to the athletes to be worn during their matches. And the reason why they specifically choose the yellow-green lineup was because that color was in perfect contrast of the tracks of the Olympians. The second loophole that they found was in this rule which prohibited Nike from showcasing the London of UK in their commercial. But you know what the loophole here is, that there are 28 other locations in this world which are named as Londons except the London in UK. So the commercial were shot in London in Ohio, Little London in Jamaica, the London Hotel, the London Gym, Small London in Nigeria. And even the London Road, and very smartly Nike was able to place the word London in all of its commercial legally. And now third and most importantly, and here where sweet spot is, usually if you look at all these Nike and commercial and Adidas commercial, you will see all the celebrities endorsing the brand, but when it comes to Nike for the Olympics, they were not allowed to use Olympians for endorsement. So while Adidas was actually flaunting all of its commercials by hiring all of these Olympians to be its brand ambassador, Nike decided to hire average teenagers as ambassador for its brand endorsement. I repeat, while Adidas had Olympians, Nike hire average teenagers who were not known to anybody as ambassador to endorse its brand, and came out to the beautiful masterpiece which literally broke the internet. And this is what commercial looked like.
There are no grand celebrations here, no speeches, no bright lights. But there are great athletes. Somehow we've come to believe that greatness is reserved for the chosen few, for the superstars. The truth is, greatness is for all of us. This is not about lowering expectations. It's about raising them for every last one of us. Because greatness is not in one special place. And it is not in one special person. Greatness is wherever somebody is trying to find it.
Now if you looked at that commercial closely, you must have realized that just like Coca-Cola leveraged the emotion of happiness to communicate its idea, Nike leverages the emotion of inspiration to communicate its idea. And because Nike managed to strike a chord with local champions, it was able to go trending, and Nike was trending #1 on YouTube 1 week after the Olympics started with 4.5 million views. And that's how, without being the title sponsor, without paying $150 million, Nike managed to steal the thunder from Adidas and emerged as a champion in this marketing war. Hush.